Okay, so now we're done with item number 1. Now you already know the basics. Now let's continue. So now let's go to number 2. In a population which consists of the numbers 3, 9, 6, 12, and 15, there are 3 numbers that were chosen as samples. First, find the population mean. That one is very easy. Just simply get the average of all the numbers. And to do that, you type their average of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And what is the average you get? The average that you get is 9. Diba? Because you add up 12, 15, that's 27, plus 9, 36, and plus another 9, 45, divide by 5, 9. So 9 is the value of the population mean. That's correct. Next, step 2. List down all the possible values as the sample means gotten. So that's exactly what you're going to do here. Kasi nga ang sabi ko dito, in order for you to solve for the population mean, to do the sampling distribution table, the first thing that you need to do is to solve for the population mean. To solve for the population mean, you simply get the average of all the numbers. But wait, isn't there a concept that you will learn about population variance? Meron. But later I will show it to you. For now, let me show you whatever is being asked para mas mabilis. Next, we list down all the values of the sample means. So you know already what to do to find all the sample means. First, we need to list down all the possible combinations. And to do that, we need to know how many possible combinations can be made here. Look, there are 5 numbers in a population and we need to select 3. So how many combinations can we make? 10. 5C3 equals 10. 5 factorial, 5 minus 3 factorial is 2. Divide by 3 factorial. The 3 is cancelled. 5 times 4 times 3 factorial. Then 5 times 4 is 20. Divide by 2 factorial, which is 10. Yes, so there are 10. 10 sample means. And how do we list down all the sample means? Ganito siya. Let's look back at Excel and find out what's the answer. So here are the sample means that I get. Here I did 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 12. 3, 6, and 15. And then I did the average. I'm sorry if you can't see it because yung naka-yellow siya. Kasi I remember when I did my solution sheet, they're all in color-coded part to make it more easier. Yan. And then we have 3, 9, and 12. 3, 9, and 15. 3, 12, and 15. That's another possible combination. Then we have 6, 9, and 12, 6, 9, and 15. And 6, 12, and 15, and 9, 12, and 15. Then after that, we get to compose the sampling distribution table. So to compose the sampling distribution table, first we look at all the numbers that pertain to our sample needs. We have the numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tama? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we have the total. So first we need to compose the tally. Remember what did I tell you about the tally? The tally must be summed up to the total number of combinations that are made. And how many combinations did we make? We made 10 possible combinations. Tama? I'm sorry if you can see this because this is yellow. Pero I will zoom it na lang para mas makita mo. Yan. So ganito siya. Okay, class? Okay, class. So ito yun. So we have the sample mean of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then, we need to find out what is the tally. To find the tally, first we look at our distribution to the left. How many 6s do we see? Look at this. Diba? We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 1. So, only 1 6. Yung 7, may isang 7. Yung 8, may dalawang tayong 8. Yung 9, dalawang 9. Dalawang 10, isang 11, at isang 12. So, for 6, we have 1. 7, we have 1. And then 8, 2. Then 9, 2. 10, 2. Then 11, 1. Then 12, 1. And then when we sum this up all together, we have to ensure that we get 10. So, when we sum everything up, we sum up all the values together, we have to ensure that we get 10. And if our answer is 10, we are correct. Now, we have to convert that into probabilistic values. So, to do that, the tally, value of the tally, divide by the total number of frequency, which is 10. So, 1 divided by 10 to give you 0.1. Of course, that's very easy lang. You just have to shift the decimal place to the left. And then sum everything up to ensure that it's a probability distribution table. Again, to ensure that if it will be a probability distribution table, kailangan dapat when you sum everything up, it should be equivalent to 1. Okay, and that's our clue. Now, all we need to do is to solve for the mean. How do we solve for the mean? Mabilis lang yun. All you have to do is to just multiply the sample mean times the corresponding probability and then sum everything up to get the sample mean. Wait, do you still remember what is our clue? Kailangan dapat ang sample mean at saka yung population mean ay kailangan dapat kaparehas. If they are not equivalent with each other, therefore it is wrong. Remember what is our population mean? It's 9. So kailangan dapat when we sum up everything all together, we should get 9. So did we get 9 when we sum everything up? Let's see. Yes, we get 9. So 9 is the population mean and 9 is also the sample mean. So therefore, we're good to go. Kaya mas mabuti pa talaga gumawa tayo ito sa Excel eh. Para what you always when we do it, because if you do it via pencil or pen, we can't fit all the numbers because they won't be so accurate. We always get the approximate value. So yun. Right after that, we get the variance. How do we get the variance? Remember there are 3 steps how to get the variance. First, it's the random variable minus the mean. Step 1. Step 2. Whatever answer you get in step 1, you square it. Step 3. Whatever answer you get in step 2, multiply it by the corresponding probability, then sum everything up to get the variance. Very easy. Simple as that. So to do that, remember what I did here? 6 minus 9 to give you negative 3. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Tama? And then squaring it will give you these answers. And then multiplying that with the corresponding probability, what did we get? 0.9, 0.4, this becomes 0.2, 0, 0.249. Then when we sum this up all together, our variance is 3. And then, when we take the standard deviation, the square root is also, the standard deviation is 1.73. So that's the sample standard deviation. Ito pala ha, to get the population variance, there's a formula to it. To get the population variance, later I'll show you. And then, I also put in letter D, the histogram. So, ito yung histogram na pinorm ko. So, ito yung mga probabilistic values that I put there. So, there from 6 to 12 on the right, on the x-axis, then the y-axis pertains to the probabilistic values. Yan, that's correct. Because that's supposed to be 0.1 and then 0.2. That's supposed to be probability. Hindi siya dapat yung tally. Pero never mind, okay lang yan. But as you can see though, if you look at the histogram that we formulate, it looks like a normal distribution. Compared to what we did in the first histogram here, this was just a linear pantay-pantay histogram. Yun lang. So that's item number 2. Now we're good to go. So now let's go to item number 3. Are you with me? Just apply the skills as we go along. Number 3. A sample of 4 numbers were chosen from this population, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. That one is still very easy. You know already what to do. First, what's the first step? The population mean. Ano yung average, diba? So let's do this in Excel para matuloy. So, when we do this, the value that you see on the next cell is the population average. Yes, so when I did the average, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. And when we sum this up all together, 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 4, 16, plus 9, 29. 25 divided by 6 is 4.16. And that is the answer of the population mean. So when we get to the sampling distribution later on, kailangan dapat ang sample mean ay dapat 4.166 dapat. Next, how many sample means are there? There are 15. Because there are 6 numbers in a population, and then we need to get 3. So we apply the combination formula, 6 factorial, divided by 6 minus 3 factorial, and then remember, 6 times 5 times 4 factorial, times 3 factorial, the 3 factorials cancel, and then 6 times 5 times 4, and then, ano yun? And then we have the 3 factorial times 3 factorial. So 3 times 2, di ba? So 3 times 2 equals, teka, mali yun. Kasi, siguro you write it down. Yeah, I have to write this down. Wait lang po ah. Okay. So, ito yun. Di ba remember you have 6 factorial? 6 minus 3 factorial divided by 3 factorial. Tama. So, therefore, you have 6 factorial, 3 factorial times 3 factorial. If we expand this, 6 times 5 times 4 factorial times 3 factorial, then 3 times 2 times 1 times 3 factorial. The 3 factorials will already cancel. Then 3 times 2 makes... Wait, I was wrong. That's supposed to be 4. Kasi po, that's 4 factorial pala. Let's try again. 6 factorial 6 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial. 6 factorial, 2 factorial times 4 factorial. 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. The 4 factorials will cancel. 2 times 1, the 2's cancel. This becomes 3. So tama, we get 15. So there are 15 possible sample means. That is the value of your sample means. So therefore, how many possible means we can make? We can make 15, as in 1, 5, 1, 5, ano yun? Possible combinations. Now, what are the possible combinations we can make? We have to list them down individually. So, ganito kasi yun. So, ito yung mga ginawa namin. So, when you type down all the solutions, all the solution sheets, we type there the average of the numbers. So, we start off at 1, 2, 3, 4. Meron ba tayong 1, 2, 3, 4? Yan. And then, 1, 2, 3, 6. Then, 1, 2, 3, 9. Tama. And then, we do 1, 2, 4, 6. Yan. Then, 1, 2, 4, 9. And then, 1, 2, 6, 9. So, we're already done with 1, 2. So, next, let's go to 1, 3. How about 1, 3, 4, 6? Meron. Then, 1, 3, 4, 9. Then, 1, 3, 6, 9. Then, 1, 4, 6, 9. And then, what else do we still need to do? Meron pa ba? Then, from there, all the ones have already been done. So, let's try 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. Then, 2, 3, 4, 9. Tama. And then, 2, 4, 2, 3, 6, 9. So, therefore, wala si 1, wala si 6. So, that's how I list down all the possible samples. Actually, if you were to do this might take forever. Kaya nga, that's why to make life easier, you can just, there's a formula to it. One time, I'll try to study this, okay? 2, 3, 6, 9. And then 2, 4, 6, 9. 2, 4, 6, 9. And then 3, 4, 6, 9. That's it. So, we have to make 15 possible samples. And then, after that, we put down all the possible outcomes or the sample means to compose the FDT. So, how do we compose the FDT? Mabilis lang yun. We have 2.5. Meron ba tayong 2.5 dyan? Meron. Meron ba tayong 3? Then, we have 3.5. Then, 3.25. Then, 3.5. Then, 3.275. Then, 4. There 4.25, 4.5, 4.75, 5, 5.25, and 5. So, ito yung solution na ginawa ko. 2.5, 3, 3.25, 3.5, 3.75, 4.0, 4.25, 4.5, 4.75, 5.0, and 5.25, and 5.5. At kailangan dapat it should sum up to the total, which is 1. Pero later, I will show it to you. And now, all we have to do is to compose the tally. So, to put the frequency, I think if you were to read all of these numbers, you might have a hard time finding out which is which. Pero, unless you're using Microsoft Excel, this is already what you're going to do. In Microsoft Excel, there's a formula that you can use to count all your variables that you have within a range. And that's what you call the count-if formula. Here's how the formula goes. Ganito kasi yun. Like, for example, in this cell, diba, we're supposed to get 1 for 2.5. If you look at the population, as you can see here, there's only 1, 2.5. Meron isa. So, how will Microsoft Excel give you the 1? Ganito yung formula. First, you type the formula count if. Nakita mo dito yung count if. Always put your equals whenever you want to initiate a formula. So, equals count if, and then what does the count if formula do? The count if formula will give you the how many times this number or variable comes within a specific range. Kaya nga, diba sabi ko dito, this is what you're going to do. Count if, and then range, ibig sabihin, where do you want it to be searching for? Saan makahanap? Like, for example, ang range namin ay dito. Yung naka-highlight sa blue. Can you see the ones that's highlighted in blue? Ito yun. Yan. Lahat yung naka-highlight sa blue, that is the one where it will search for. At kailangan dapat i-lock both of the cells para when we shift it to the right, it won't be shifted. Whatever the range is. And then, that is your range. Where it will search on within that particular area. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng range. Kung saan siya hinahanap dito sa area na to. That's what you call the range. Within a given area. Like the one that's highlighted in blue, that is your range. And then from there, yung naka-red, that is the criteria. What it wants to look for within the particular range. Like for example, if there's a number 2.5 within this boundary, meron isang 2.5 dyan. Then press enter because there's only 1. And that's how we get the value of 1. We type there, count if formula, then highlight the area where it wants to search for, then click the item that it needs to search for within that boundary. Now we do it for the rest. Like for example, 3, we have 1. Meron ba tayo isang 3 dyan? Meron. How about 3.25? 1 pa rin. There's only 3.25 there. How about 3.5? Meron, isa. Isang 3.5. 3.75 there, 2. Bakit meron 3.75? Yan. 4, meron tayong isa. 4.25, may dalawa tayo. Tama ba? Yan, isa. And then 4.5, dalawa. May 4.5 dito, may 4.5 dyan. Then 4.75, may isa. Then yung 5, may dalawa. And then 5.25, may isa. At saka yung 5.5, dalawa, isa. Tama? That's the count if formula. The count if formula will tell you how many variables of that item it is found within a given boundary. So first, you need to highlight the boundary and lock the cells so that when you drag it, it will be much more easier. That's how you compute for the tally. Sometimes, if you just do for the tally, it could be kind of hard. Pero using Microsoft Excel and the count if formula will make the game much more convenient and much more easier. Okay? Then when we sum up everything, kailangan dapat when we sum up all the values of the range of the tallies, they should be equivalent to the total possible number of combinations that are made. And the total possible number of combinations that can be made is 15. So did we get the number 15? If we get the number 15, you are correct. That is our frequency, our total. Kailangan dapat ng summation ng tally ay mag-sum up sa total number of possible combinations or possible combinations that can be made, which are 15. Then from there, we compose the probability distribution table. How do we do that? First, we need to convert them into probability values. To convert that into a probability value, the tally of the given sample mean divided by the total, which is 15. So when we do this, ito yung ginawa ko. I did this, lock, di ba? This one divided by the total, which you see on the right. Kaya nga, that's why nga I locked it, para when we shift to the right, using the box that you see there, it will be automatic. And then when we sum this up all together, we should get 1 so that it will make a probability distribution table. And then what's after that? You have to solve for the mean. How do we solve for the sample mean? We just, multiply the two corresponding values together. The sample mean times the corresponding probability. And then from there, we sum everything up so that we can get the sample mean, which is equivalent to the population mean. And you still remember what's the value of the population mean? The value of the population mean is 4.167777. And did we get that answer? Yes, it's still the same. So correct. Now, we have to solve for the variance. To solve for the variance, mabilis lang yun. You still remember the 3 steps, right? What's step number 1? Oh, yeah! Step number 1. X, the random variable, minus the mean. The mean was 4.166667. So therefore, if we do that, that will be our step number 1. Very good. So ito yung ginawa namin. And then we locked it. Para when we shift to the right, it will not affect any of the other cells. Then what's step number 2? Oh yeah, whatever answer you get there, square it. Very good. So isi-square na namin. Square it. And then shift it para patuloy yung formula. And then what's step number 3? Oh, step number 3. Based on your answer you get in step number 2, you multiply it with the corresponding probability. Thank you. Very good. So multiplying that by the corresponding probability, you should get this answer. And then what's the next step? Sum everything up. Very good. And we should get 0.71. 3889 something. Taking the square root of it will give you the standard deviation. And our standard deviation is 0.844919. Or 0.85 as our standard deviation of the sampling distribution. Yan. Diba? So yun lang. Very easy. That's it. This This one's already the direct formula. And I remember during that time, yeah, those are the other questions that I asked for. Find the values of the sample means, so something distribution table, and the mean of the distribution. Very easy. How about let's do more? Are you ready? Let's go and do 2 more items. Next, number 4. Okay, so in this item, number 4, in a population which consists of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, 2 numbers are chosen. You know already what to do. First, let's find the population mean. To solve for the population mean, mabilis lang to. You know already what to do here. And the population mean is 5. How do we get 5? Simply get the average of all the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and then we get 5. That's it. And then the population variance. Okay, class. Ito na talaga yung question na tinanong mo sa akin. How do we get the population variance? Here's the solution for how we get the population variance. Okay, so do you still remember what are the key points here? The population mean is always the average of the numbers in the population. Very easy lang to. The population mean and the sample mean are always equivalent to each other. Like for example, in number 4, dito, what is the value of the population mean? The value of the population mean is 5. So, kailangan dapat, when we do the sampling distribution later on, kailangan dapat ang sample mean ay dapat 5 rin. Later, I will show you. Okay? Next. So, yung variance, di ba remember that is the question that you're asking me right now. Kung sa tingin mo sa sample variance, the step for variance that you always do normally is this. Di ba remember, ang variance is always, di ba remember, x minus the mu, then whatever answer you get, you square it, and then from there, you multiply it with the probability, and then this one, summation of that. That is the variance, di ba? That is of the sample. Pero when we talk about population variance, it's always this formula. The value of the population variance is always the number of the element minus the mean. What does capital N stand for? Not the numbers in the population, ha? Pero the element, like for example, we have 1. So 1 minus the mean, which is 5, to give you negative 4. And then from there, we square it. And then sum everything up, and then, yun nga, divide by the total number of numbers in a population. That is what you call, that is the population variance. The population variance is getting the average of the number subtracted by the mean and then squared. Then you sum everything up and then divide by the total number of numbers. Or in short, it's the average of every n minus the mu squared. Diba? So that's exactly what you're going to do. Now let me show you how did my formula go in Microsoft Excel. So ganito kasi yung sampling distribution ko. Alright? So ito kasi yun. So diba remember, this is what I did here for 24B solution. So do you still remember what is my answer here? My answer here is 1. Diba? So diba remember here the values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Tama? And then to solve for the population mean, di ba remember the population mean is just get the average of all the numbers. And when we do that, di ba remember when we type their average, and then we highlight all the cells from 1 to 10, just like that, we should get 5. Tama? Now to get the population variance is this. First, for step number 1, as you can see in my list, what's the first step? X minus the mean. I meant the N, the capital N minus the mean. So, di ba remember, these are capital N. So, capital N is 1. And then, minus the mean, which is 5. And we get negative 4. Here, we get negative 3. Here, we get negative 2. Here, we get negative 1. And then, this evens out. This becomes 1, positive 4, positive 5. And that is step number 1. Then, for step number 2, whatever answer we get in step number 1, we square it. So, when we square that, we get 16, 9, 4, 1, neutral, 1, 16, 25. And then when we sum this up all together, we need to divide that by n. Or in short, we just take the average of all the numbers and we should get 9. Diba? And then we take the standard deviation of 9 by taking the square root, and that is our population standard deviation. So the standard deviation of the population, okay. So ito yung variance na tinasabi ko. So to get the standard deviation is always the square root of variance. Diba? Take the square root of the variance and you get the standard deviation. Both in population, this works for both population and sample. Later, when we go to the central limit theorem, you'll see why it makes sense. Because just like what I told you in the preview of the plot, when we do sampling distribution method, kailangan dapat ang standard deviation ay mag-divide sa square root ng n. Later, I will show you why it makes sense. Okay? So now you already know the standard deviation of the population. Take the square root of your variances in both situations and you get the standard deviations. Then see what's the difference. Later, I will show you as we get farther. Okay? So when we take the square root of 9, we get 3. Tama? And that is already the value of our standard deviation. Tama? Now here, I did the formula already in Patuloy-Tuloy. So when I did that, I did this, minus the mean, then square it, we should get this answer. Just like that. And then when we take the average of that, just type average of the numbers that you see here, we should get 9. Then take the square root of 9, we get 3. Tama? That's easy. So now we already solved for the population variance. So the population variance is 9. That's it. Next, solutions below. First, we need to list down all the possible samples. So to list down all the possible samples, mabilis lang yun. Okay? What does the instruction say here? In a population which consists of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, there were 2 numbers that were chosen. So how many numbers are there? 8. Hindi 10 ha, there are 8. Kulang si 7 at saka si 8. Oh, parang siyang ganito. Parang siya yung kanta na yun. 1, 2, 3, asay na tatlo. 5, 6, sundan mo na ako. 8, 9, 10, pakulang ng 7. Come on, sing with me! 1, 2, 3. Ang tatay mo, kalbo. 4, 5, 6. Tapos, ito. 8, 9, 10. Pakulang ng 7. Gulat na tunaw Okay, sing with me! Pito, bago magwalo, bago magwalo. Now, I thought you were having a lesson. Quit that music. This is getting... Oh, God, dude. Ayaw gabi. No. Cut that out. 5, 6. Hanggang alas 7. Huli na doon ang dadosino. Kapado natin. Everybody sing with me! Pito, bago magwalo, bago magwalo, bago magwalo. Now, get back to the lesson. Stop playing that music. This is going much too exciting. Yeah, and just like what I said to you kanina, I'm sorry if I were, oh, that's much better. Thank the heavenly Lord God. It's now back to lecture. No more music. You're making it much too exciting. Sorry, Nitnots. I just want entertainment. I don't care. If it's time for study, study. Not a dance breakdown. Oh my goodness. I'm out of here. If I were your school principal, I will abandon this for permanent life. Oh, thank you for turning it off. Anyway, sir, don't bother it. Kasi po, the reason why I played that song just for you, yung pito, 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 pito. It's because, I just want to tell you, kulang tayo ang 7 at saka yung 8. Di ba? Remember sabi sa kanta na yan, pito, pito, bago magwalo, walo, pito, 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 pito. You wanna hear it again? No, please stop. Anyways, let's get back na muna to the lecture, okay? Huwag na tayo magkanta. And just what I said, to list down all the sample means in this criteria, kailangan dapat, di ba remember there are 8 numbers. So kulang tayo ng 7 at saka yung 8. Pero don't worry, it's still the same criteria. What do? We just list down all the possible combinations. So in this situation, there are 8 numbers in a population, and since 2 of them are selected, we have 8C2. So 8 factorial, and then divide by 2 factorial, of course, 8 minus 2 factorial is 6. So 8 times 7 is 56, and then we remove the 6 factorials and divide by 2, we get 28. So when we take the combination of 8C2, we get 28. Tama? Now we get the average of all the sample means. So when we do 1, 2, we get 1.5. Then we do 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 9, 1, 10. When we're done with 1, 10, switch to the next. How about we do 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 9, 2, 10. When we're done with 2, let's go to 3. 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 9, 3, 10. Then 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 9, 4, 10. Then 5, 5, 6, 5, 9, 5, 6, 5, 10. 6, 9, 6, 10, 9, 10. That's it. And that's how we get the sample means. And we get 28. 28 of them. Now, we get to input that into our solution sheet in the laptop. So here we have the sample mean 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and we did skip counting until the total, which is 9.5. And remember, we're supposed to have 28. If we look via the chart, as you can see here, it might take forever to search for the number. Para mas madali, what do we apply? Do you know what do you apply? The count. Okay? Now. If you just look at these numbers, they're way too boring. That's what I like. However, in the trending millennial world today, what people will always do is they always use the COUNTIF formula. The COUNTIF formula is always depicted like this. First, click any cell, then type equals. Once you're there, type this COUNT if, then open parentheses, then arrange the cell, click on this thing, highlight all of this, and then yay! It's my favorite song again! Song ito. Ay, nako! Ito na naman yung election para 768. Okay. And then the criteria, just choose anything. Like, for example, you want 6.5. So, therefore, if you look at here, it will just give you how many 6.5s are there within that boundary. Correct. Whatever you highlight, that is the boundary where it will search for. And then the criteria, whatever it types, it will look for that item within that boundary that you highlight. Correct. And how many 6.5s are there? Dalawa. So there's one 6.5 here and one 6.5 there. Even though you have a bored time looking at it, you know that's my style. Searching everything. Yeah, I know. Pero for the sake of mathematicians, because they want things quicker, especially at work, therefore, they just apply the COUNTIF formula to make things more convenient. Now, let's go back to our solution. So, as you can see, diba remember, ang tally namin for 1.5, there's only 1. So, ang ginawa ko, we do the COUNTIF formula of the cell from this here up to there. Diba? Yung naka-highlight sa blue. And then we put $sign to lock in. And then from there, we just simply drag it up. 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Para mas mabilis, diba? We just apply the count if formula. Count if formula, highlight the cell. And you see, because of the $sign, even though we go to the next cell, it does not change. Diba? It's still the same. That's why my dollar. Then, keep it up until you get the total. Then when we sum everything up, we should get 28. If we did get 28, which is the total number of possible combinations that are made, therefore, the answer is correct. So we get 28. Next, we need to convert that into probabilistic values. Mabilis lang yun. So the thing that we need to do is to do tally divided by the total number of combinations, and we should get this. All of this. And we should continue this until we get to the end. Then when we sum them all up, we should get 1. And then if we do that, we get a probability distribution table. Diba? And by the way, here's the histogram that I made in item number 23. Later, I'll show it to you. And then the next step is to solve for the mean. To solve for the mean, you need to multiply the sample mean, the random variable, times the probabilistic value to get the sample, and then sum everything up to get the sample mean. Do you still remember what's our sample mean? Our sample mean is 5. So when we do this, we multiply everything all together para patuloy, di ba? And then when we keep on doing that, we should sum everything up so we can get 5. And when we do that, tama, we still get 5. That is the mean. Remember what I put here? The population mean must be equivalent to the sample mean of the sampling distribution. Next, for the variance, you already know there are 3 steps. Step 1, we just subtract, di ba? The random variable x minus the mean, and which is 5. And when we keep on doing this consecutively, we do it that way. Then after that, we square it. After squaring it, we multiply it by the corresponding probability. Then we do everything, then we sum everything up to get the variance. So our variance is 3.85. That is the variance. Then the standard deviation is to take the square root of their variance. And you get this answer. This one is the shortcut. And then the thing that I did here is to make a histogram. So here's the histogram that I made in item number 23. Yung nakakulay pink, di ba? So this one pertains to the tally. And then the one that is in the horizontal axis that pertains to the mean, the sample mean. Actually, sana dapat that the vertical axis should be the probability eh. Why the tally? Pero okay lang yan. That is our histogram. And then sa item number 24, ito yung histogram na ginawa ko. So we have only 1, and then 2, then 3. Parang it's almost like a normal distribution kasi nga may putol eh. And that's how it goes. Now, let's go to one more number before we continue. So the last one, let's go to item number 5. We're halfway there, guys. So number 5, the population contains numbers from 4 to 12. If 2 of those numbers were selected at random, solve for the following. Very easy. So let's see if you know the steps. Solve for the population mean. You know already what to do, right? How do we solve for the population mean? Oh, the population mean is just simply get the average from 4 to 12. Very good. So when we do that, let's go to Excel and see. Yes. And when we do that, average of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then divide by 9 numbers. How many numbers are there from 4 to 12? There are 9. So we get 8. Yes. That is the population mean. What's letter B? The population variance. How do we get the variance? Diba remember, it's in your book. To get the population variance, the number minus the mean that you get, and then you square it, and then simply get the average of everything. Yes, that's right. We need to get the average so that we can get the population variance. Very good. Just like that. And when we do that, ito yun. So we have the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then for variance step 1, remember what is our mean? Our mean is 8. So 4 minus 8 equal... Teka. That's not the right answer. Kasi nga ang ginawa ko dito, this is supposed to be 8. Diba remember, ang mean namin ay 8. Pero, I subtracted that by 12. That's not the right answer. So, therefore, this should be 8. this is wrong. So, ang kailangan ko dapat, i-subtract na namin by 8. And then, para patuloy, you can just see that, do you see this green thing here? The one where you see the plus? Yes, because when you click on that, it will make things automatic. Very good. So, you let it slide just like that. And then, yun nga, that's supposed to be the right answer. Yun, so that is the variance step 1. Just like that. So, kailangan dapat, ang mean dapat ay 8. And then, step number 2, whatever answer you get, you square it. And when you do that, you should get this answer. Then, take the average of all the numbers, and you should get 6.6667. And then, when you take the square root of your variance, therefore, you should get 2.58. So, therefore, the standard deviation is 2.58. That is the standard deviation. To make things patuloy, ito yung ginawa ko. It's supposed to be 8 dapat. Then slide everything up. Yan. The mean is supposed to be 8, not 12. So sorry. And dapat, the variance is supposed to be 6.667. Of course, that's not supposed to be our variance. Yan. So 6.667 is supposed to be the value of the population variance. Yeah. It's not supposed to be 22. How can 22 be the variance? It's too large. Yeah, I know, right? Next, for letter C, we compose the FTT. So first, we need to know how many possible combinations can we make. Because there are 9 numbers and we're going to select 2 of them. So therefore, 9C2. 9 factorial divided by 9 minus 2 factorial, that's 10 factorial. The 7 factorial is cancelled. 7 times 8 is 72. Divided by 2, that's 36. So we have to make 36 different combinations. And by doing that, average of 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, then 4, 9, 4, 10, 4, 11, 4, 12, and then 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 9, 5, 10, 5, 11, 5, 12, then 6, 7, 6, 8, 6, 9, 6, 10, 6, 11, then 6, 12, then what's next? 7, 8, right? 7, 8, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 11, 7, 12, and then 8, 9, 8, 10, 8, 11, 8, 12, and then 9, 10, 9, 11, 9, 12, 10, 11, 10, 12, 11, 12. And then we type, and then we want to know if this is 36. So count A. So when we do this, we're supposed to get 36. Yes. So dapat we're supposed to get 36 as the outcome. So to apply that, we click on the count. Count A. What does count A do? Count A stands for the... What does count A do? Sige, while waiting, let's listen to Tulpo first. Okay, so the count A formula, this article describes your formula syntax. The count A function counts the number of cells that are not empty in a range, or it should count how many cells that are having ano yun? It counts how many cells that are not empty, or the number of cells that you see there. It can count how many ano yun, cells are there. So dapat when we count everything, we're supposed to get 36. Then we highlight the range so that we can get the 36. So yan, 36. Later, we will do the count if formula. So now we compose our FTT. So composing the FTT, di ba remember we have the tally. So kailangan dapat we should get 36. Yan, di ba? And then, how do we do this? First, di ba remember we do the count if formula. So we do the count if, click on the cells that you want to highlight. That will be within the boundary, this area. And then click on the cell that it wants to count within that boundary. Like for instance, 4.5. Ilan yung mga 4.5s dito? Isa lang. Diba? And then we do it this way. For 5, look at this. And then 6, diba? Same chart pa rin. 5.5. 6. Same chart from A131 to D139. Then 6.5. Then 7. Same, diba? The lock cell did not change. then 7.5, then 8, then 8.5, then 9, then 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11, hanggang 11.5. Diba? That's how the count if formula works. Diba? But you will not have a hard time looking for it. That's why Excel will count everything for you. So if you do count A, it will just count how many cells are there that have an element. And then count if within a given range, it counts how many elements of that specific criteria that you want. So yan, that's it. And then from there, when we sum everything up, we should get 36, which stands for the total number of possible combinations that we make. Yeah, that's how it goes. Thank you, Princess Alia. And then we get 36. And then we need to convert that into probabilistic values. How do you do that? The number in the tally divided by the population, the total number of combinations that we can make, so that we can convert that into a probabilistic value. Correct. And that's how it goes. So, ang ginawa ko dito, I did this. The cell that I want divided by the total. And we're supposed to get this. And then sum everything up to see if we get 1. Yeah, because if the value is 1, therefore this is a probability distribution table. You're right, little girl. Very good. And we should get 1. Now, we have already saw that the population that we get 36 possible different samples as we sum everything up. And this is a probability distribution tables because when we divide the tally divided by the total number of frequency, and then we sum everything up, we get 1. So this is a probability distribution table. Correct. And then the next step is to solve for the mean. To solve for the mean, mabilis lang yun. What do? Do the sample mean or the random variable times the probability. Then sum everything up to get the mean. Oh, by the way, and dapat the mean should be the same as the population mean, which is 8. Correct. Just like that. And when we do all of this together, we slide it all using the mini box and then sum everything up. And if we get 8, yes, we get 8, which is the value of the population mean. So therefore, we are correct. Yay! That's right. And then right after that, we get the variance. So to get the variance, remember, for the variance, there are 3 steps. So what's step number 1? Step number 1, the random variable minus the mean. Very good. And our mean is 8. So when we do that, what's step number 1? Yes. So 4 minus 8 is 3.5. Yes. Correct. That's step number 1. Then keep going until the end. Then what's step number 2? Baby daisy! Step number 2. Square the step number 1 step. Very good. You square it. And then when you square it for all the rest, that's step number 2. Last but not least, what's step number 3? Step number 3. Whatever answer you get in step number 2, you multiply it with the corresponding probability. Very good. Just like that. And keep doing it until so on. Then what we do after that, we bring this up all together and then we sum everything up. Very good. Sum everything up to get the sample variance, which is 2.91. And then to get the standard deviation, what's the last thing we do? Take the square root. Take the square to get the standard deviation. Very good. And the standard deviation is 1.70. So yan. And as you can see in our histogram, therefore, our sampling distribution should look like this. Hey, look at that. Oh, I think it kind of... Oh, if I look at my histogram, it kind of looks like a normal distribution. See the mean located at the center? And our mean is supposed to be 5. 8. So 8 is the mean. And it's a normal distribution. It kind of makes sense. Yes, tama. So as you can see in our normal distribution, diba, remember this is the normal distribution, diba, when you make the graph. This is the left side of the tail, and this is the right side of the tail. Tapos, whatever is high, that is the mean. And our mean is 8. So tama nga, the mean is 8. The mu is the 8. Yun ang mu, diba? Mean, median, mode. At diba, remember, the population mean and the sample mean is 8. So therefore, if you look at the graph, 8 is our population mean and our sample mean, and it lies in the middle of the distribution, which stands for the central stage. Tama! And then if we sketch it, it looks like a normal curve. Tama? Yun lang. And then the population variance, di ba remember the population variance is 6.667, while the sample variance is 2.91, and then the sample standard deviation is 1.7, while the population standard deviation is, we take the square root of 6.67, square root of 2/3, and we should get 2.58 as our population standard deviation. So you see, it kind of makes sense that when we get to our central limit theorem, which you will see later on, the population standard deviation and the sample standard deviation are both different. That's why if you go to the next set of problems, you will have to convert your normal standard deviation into a sample by dividing that standard deviation by the square root of n. Because the square root of n talks about how many samples are we taking, and then we get to convert that by dividing it by the standard deviation. That's how it's meant to be done. Whereas, in our normal distribution, it's just the standard deviation or just sigma only. Diba? But in samples, since we're taking samples, we need to divide by the standard deviation of n so that we can make our standard deviation smaller. You'll find out when we get to our central limit theorem later on.